NEEWER LT39 travel tripod. Now, I've been through a lot of tripods over the years, and some of them are broke, some of them are blasted. So I feel quite in a good place to analyse tripods and know what will work and how it will fail. Now, NEEWER have sent this to review, independent review. Thanks very much for sending it. And well, the first thing to say about it, the design is very sleek. Some would say even sexy. It has very embellished legs, so it can fold flatter. But just the whole design, it looks like they've put every effort into every part of it to make it work well and look the best it possibly can. It's certainly the most attractive tripod I've ever seen. So there are some things about this tripod which are amazing and some which may put you off. And so let's find out where you might stand with this tripod. It's 1.2 kilogram in weight and it feels really light. 10 kilogram max weight load on top, of course, which is really a lot considering that's 10 times the amount of its actual weight, which is great. It folds down to 19.5 centimeters for travel and to fold away, and it goes all the way up to 158 centimeters high for usage. So when I'm about doing wildlife or hikes, I rarely take a tripod with me. I have lots of tripods of all different sizes, but I just find them cumbersome, adding to every gram. You think about every gram when you're walking around and hiking, and so you have an ultra light one which is reliable. Well, that's the big thing, isn't it? That's the test. That's the holy grail of tripods. So yeah, the things I like about this is its weight. It's so light and portable. You can fold it down. I mean, this is... You might be able to hear the clicking of the locks here, which are very substantial, and so it folds up and you can look at that. I mean, look at that, that's really cool. Because of the way the legs are shaped, you can fold it down to a very small circumference there. So the legs are clips, which I always prefer. One of the things over the years I've learned is that spin lock on tripods have to be built immaculately or they go wrong within a year, and a lot of mine have on cheaper ones, but even on more expensive ones, the spin locks, I don't like them. So I like clips, and you can hear that, that's a crack, isn't it? But it has 4, so that's for different measurements, which is good, but also it's time consuming. So when I'm doing a wedding or event, I need to unpack quickly. Sometimes I need to move quickly, gather my things, go to the next place, next room even, and unlock. So if you're doing each of these, I suppose you could do it like that, and then let go like that all in one, which is my recommendation, and then kind of fold them over. So that's a solution. There is a solution to the problem. You have the clips where you can bring them down, and that sets the angle of view. And you can set it really, really low to almost floor level if you really want to. And these feel substantially strong. So at the bottom of it, you have a weight clip. Now this is important because if you've got heavier cameras or you're in a more unstable ground or floor, you put extra weight on these, which might seem strange because you've got a light tripod, but if you want full stability, put extra weight on this. Hang whatever you can off it to give it more stability going down. And that's the other thing with light tripods, is that they are less stable. Heavier the tripod, the more stable it is. But this is about convenience and traveling light, so you don't want to do that always. It seems a bit counterintuitive to take something heavy with you for a lighter tripod to keep your weight down. The pan, which has measurements on, and it's really, really smooth in operation. The smoothness of it is really, really good. Then you have the ball head adjustment, so you can just release that, and you have flexible ball head. You can tighten that up. So then you have the actual locking mechanism for the clip. You can tighten that up to loosen it because it has a quick release. So you should be able to see that I've locked it, but if you lock it and then you can just come out like that. Quick release plate, really good if you're on the move and you want to take your camera off. Which leads me on to maybe my only issue with this tripod is that the plate is too small for me. Now this is standard on all travel tripods. They make them really small and I hate that. I really do. My complaint with all the tripods I've had is that the plates are all too small. And the problem with a small plate is a few reasons. So when you connect it to the camera, it can slide quite easily because the surface area of the camera and the plate, I should get a camera for this. But once you're in, so once you've put it on the camera, like so, there isn't much surface area for it to connect to the camera, and therefore it's more likely to slide. And yet, I mean, I've done that quite tight and it's already sliding away. You'd really have to tighten it as hard as you can, and then even then it's still moving around. There's a bit of give there. And with heavier cameras and equipment, that's going to give more slide. Okay, so I secured the plate with the hex key, really secure. But look at the size of the plate. If you look at the size of the plate compared to the thing, it's quite small, but let's give it a go. Just tighten that in so it's secure, and you know, it works really well. That's pretty cool. Okay. Use it as a sporting tripod. This is obviously a very heavy lens and camera. So yeah, the hex key works really well to tighten the lens to the plate. And let's loosen that up. So it's, yeah, I mean, that does seem better. Now you probably need, it has a spin lock on it, but you probably need a screwdriver to really put it in tight. And I don't like doing that so much because I feel like it's going to over tighten it and damage the mount. I mean, that's secure. I mean, it's not falling off. So on a heavier camera, this is my D700, and heavier lens. Okay, so I've tightened that up as much as I can with my hand. And you can see how small it is on the camera. But, you know, that is secure. It's going around. It's okay. So this is another NEEWER tripod they gave me probably a year ago now to review, and I still use it. It's my most used tripod because it has two inner columns that can go up, and again, they're plastic clips, but they haven't let me down a year later. So that's an update for that. And you can see the size of the plate head. It's twice as big as this. So as you can see there, you might be able to see there, it's pretty much twice the size. Of course, if you really wanted to, you could replace the whole head itself and put another head on top, which might be a solution if you don't get on with this one. So this can also do the vertical dip for filming for social media, I guess. Okay, so this tripod comes in at £269. That's a substantial amount for a tripod, but carbon fibre travel tripods are that cost when you're getting something as premium and when you've got something reliable. The Peak Design one is twice the price and is more or less the same thing. But there are really cheap ones as well. You can get, it depends on your purpose and how heavy your camera setup is going to be, and how also the stability. You also think about the longevity of all the joints and all the mechanism. The more you pay, the more longer it lasts generally. Fascinating how the design can come together. And I have traveled with this on my hikes and I didn't really know I had it. It's that light. You can just put it in your back rucksack and you don't even know it's there. And that's an amazing thing for a tripod. Okay, right. See you next time.